Hello, welcome to the channel and thanks for joining me. Today we've got an unboxing video, not a massive box this one, but fairly heavy, so I'm guessing some kind of radio cassette in here. So let's carefully get this box open, see what we've got. And this is what I like to see. This is properly packaged. It's a box within a box. The Amazon boxes generally aren't very good, and I certainly don't use them for posting things myself, except for using as a protective outer case, which this has got. It's full of all sorts of void fill and stuff, but there is another box inside, so they've done a really good job of this one. The reason I mention that, of course, is regular viewers to the channel will know that quite often I get things here for the channel that are just ruined because of poor packaging. So credit where it's due for those that take the effort to wrap things properly. Right, here we go then. See, that's fantastic. They've even taken the trouble of making sure that the bubble wrap falls between the handle and the main unit to stop it rubbing in transit. That might sound like I'm rabbiting on a bit about pointless bits of packaging, but when you actually sort of work on and repair and restore old items like this, you know, we try to make them as nice as we possibly can. And obviously, you know, we buy them in a certain condition, knowing what we can or can't do with them. But of course, if you know, if they arrive in a worse condition than you bought them, then sometimes there's things you can't fix after the event. Now straight away I can see, in fact I know there's an issue with this one. It's had a knock on the side. I don't know if you'll actually be able to make that out from there, but there's an eccentricity to the handle, or to the tuner knob, and the problem with that, it looks like it's had a knock. And I remember when I bought this, in fact, they said that the tuner actual radio technically works, but the tuner doesn't, and that's because the dial cord isn't attached, or there's been some sort of knock here to the mechanism. So we'll have to have a look at that in due course to see whether or not it's literally snapped the dial cord, or whether we can restring it or what have you. So we'll look at that. But anyway, here we do have a wonderful 9415, and this is an LSB from JVC. So this is a 1970s piece of kit here, in really nice condition overall, I've got to say. Radio tape player, only at a mono unit. You've got a built-in condenser mic, the battery VU on the top, which is lovely, and it's got short wave, long and medium wave on the AM there, and you've also got FM, of course only mono. However, it does play chrome tapes. So we've got the markings on there, the CR02, and there should be a switch for that somewhere. Possibly not, actually. So let's have a look. Radio, tape, beat cut, 4-way band selector, tone switch there, set to high. So it might have a dodgy output, or someone's just got this with a prevalence for high frequencies, and a master volume on the top. I did wonder whether there would be a switch there for normal or type 1 or type 2 tapes, but I guess this one's just built in either or on the biasing, so you kind of get what you get. However, the aerial is intact, that's in good condition, the tip is present. Does it extend without falling apart? Yes it does, and it holds in position, so that's pretty cool. The little locating plug as well there works nicely. Handle's intact, pretty grubby, but not too bad. Right, okay. Just on the side, you've got your 5-pin DIN for integration with other units, which may actually be a stereo out. We'll have a look at the heads in due course on this, but yeah, you've got auxiliary in, you've got your microphone in, and just on the side here as well is your volume for mixing in your microphone. Battery compartment, well, let's have a look. Springs look really good, nice and clean. Battery cover's present, as you can obviously see. And in terms of power supply, you've got your mains figure of 8 cable there, your C7, and it also runs off a, let's have a look, 6 volts DC, just there. Now I can't tell, there's a little plate missing there, which may or may not tell us the polarity of that one, but I never like to guess. Right, anyways, so here we go, 1970s radio cassette recorder, and on here you'll see you've got your normal transport buttons, but you've got cue and review as well. So you've got fast forward and rewind that would lock in, but you've also got the halfway sort of cue and review built in there as well. Pause I like, which is a little switch just on the top, It's pretty funky. Love the way that works. And yeah, your master switch just on the top there. So what we're going to do is just going to plug this in, see whether or not it works, and we'll give it a quick appraisal, I think. Alrighty, so volume down. Oh, volume is down, but it's pretty crackly. Right, let's have a look. Now I'm going to turn the lights off. It's almost pitch black now, but I've turned the lights off just to see if that affects the FM at all. And we can see that, yeah, it's turning, but there's no actual tuning going on. So the circuitry hopefully will work, but we've got to figure out how to get that tuning cap to actually move first. So I'll get lights back on. So let's have a look, see if any of the other wavelengths work. Well, they won't, will they? Okay. Alright, so potentially the radio could work if we can only get it to actually physically tune. So we'll have to look at that at some point. And with regard to the tape then, I'll just put this aerial back out of the way. With regard to the actual tape, let's have a look. Does it... Alright, well that's good. That's definitely turning. The take-up reel's definitely turning. So let's have a quick feel of the old capstan and the pinch roller. Ah, this is one of those that only plays when the door is closed. Okay, rewind, fast forward. I can see, yeah, you can quite see the counter going there. Good. All right. Well, that seems to be working okay as far as it goes. I'm just going to have a quick visual inspection and feel of the pinch roller. Looks. Let's have a look. Doesn't look crazily bad, and the capstan looks fairly clean. So, with that in mind, I think I'm going to put a tape in and see what happens. Probably foolish of me, but here we go. Okay, well, it's playing, it's fast forwarding, and it's rewinding. Okay, so there's your, yep, Q and review's all okay. So I think this one's going to be alright. Alright, so the tape itself seems to be okay, but did you notice that the volume didn't turn down then? It didn't turn off at all, so that's another thing we need to look at. So it was increasing with the increased turn of the pot, but it wasn't actually turning off less than probably 30% volume or something. So we need to look at that. Either clean the pot, there might be a broken contact on there. There may be, you might need the pot actually replacing for the volume. But really the main issue is the whole mechanism for the tuning system. Whether or not that tuning cord is actually attached, that dial cord, whether it's come away, whether it's snapped, whether the mechanisms become detached inside. First thing I noticed when I opened the box, of course, was that it looks like it's had a knock at some point, so that may or may not be related. To be fair, that did jog my memory because I was aware of that when I bought it. Good news though, 9415, I'm just going to check my shelf. Yep, as luck would have it, I've got another one here actually on the shelf, and this one looks like it says, let's have a look, corroded terminals, it was smashed in transit, it squeals and it eats tape. That's the notes I've made from a previous, and I've had this one an awful long time sat on the shelf waiting to get around to doing it. By all accounts it was working properly, but it got smashed in transit and it was rattling and all the bits were falling apart. However, despite the external damage, and you might see the handles all broken inside and everything like that, but if I turn this tuning, watch the tuning indicator, there we go, that all works. And so we know the radio mechanical parts will work on this one. The volume part we can pinch off this if we need to. This one, the spare one, as I've got on the shelf, says it squeals. Now it might just be the play and record switch, perhaps might be in need of a clean, but probably nothing major. But we know the mech works on this one, so to be honest, I think what we'll do is make a good one from the pair, and to be fair, we'll probably make an excellent one from the pair, and then maybe even rescue the other one, who knows. So I don't want to, they're both completely intact. One looks like it's got a great amplifier and cassette mech's working, although we will service it. We'll definitely go through it, we'll clean all the tape path, we'll lube the mechanism, we'll put new belts on it, we'll do it all anyway. But so yeah, so that one's going to be okay, I think, as far as the tape's concerned. This one's got an issue potentially with the mech operating the radio, and then this one here, the radio mech works, but it's got an issue with the tape. So yeah, as I say, we'll be able to do something between the two, and hopefully salvage the second one, even if it might look a bit more ropey. So there we go. So that's the JVC 9415 LSB. So do please stay tuned, and I'll be back soon with an update on these. I've got loads of stuff to do in the new year now. Really excited. Got a whole bunch of stuff to start working through. Just tons of stuff. Hitachis, Sanyos, I mean, you name it. We've got shelves full of stuff at the moment that needs working on. So I'm really excited to be bringing you all this sort of stuff. So I just thought I'd come up and share this with you whilst I'm at it. And so some of the things we'll be getting out on the channel will be unboxings, show and tells. We've got repairs. We've got boomboxes. We've got Walkmans, vintage games, all kinds of stuff. So do stay tuned and stay safe, and I'll be back soon with updates. But in the meantime, take care. All the best for now. Bye bye.